Adrian's story. This is my Adrian. You pace back and forth across the marbled tile, watching the moon climb into the sky. He promised tonight was the night. Where the hell is Gaius? In your frustration, you strike out against the nearest stone column. The ceiling rumbles as the pillar crumbles to dust against your fist. Still not used to that. And you wonder why I kept postponing our little jaunt? Careful, dear Adrian, or I might rethink tonight's outing. You bite your tongue, the glimmer in his eye is playful. He has no intention of letting the night pass. Does that mean you intend to let me out? Gaius rolls his eyes, crossing the room to frown at the remains of the column you destroyed. You say that like I've trapped you instead of giving you the greatest gift a mere mortal could ever ask for. You clench your teeth, your fangs digging into your gums. You still haven't quite adjusted to the sensation. Of course your gift, but what good is a gift you can't use? Night after night I sit in your ivory tower, coiled like a snake, and watch the world go by around me. I'm tired of wasting time here. With a viper's strike, Gaius snatches your chin up in his hand, forcing your gaze onto his. Luckily for you, you've got nothing but time, thanks to me. He releases you forcefully, turning his back to you, wounded, ancient as a stone, yet fragile as a newborn. Gaius, let me walk among the people. Let me see what this world is like through your eyes. He turns sharply, grinning and impish again. Then let us not waste time. There's mere hours before sunrise. The fact of which I am painfully aware. You cross the yard, eager to get past the iron gates and agitated at his leisurely pace. You walk like the world waits for us, my friend. And you will very soon discover that it does. A man's home is his castle, and that's what they say. But we are not men, and the world itself is the kingdom of gods. Gaius pauses in front of a heavy gilded gate, and for a moment you worry he's changed his mind. By the end of this night, dearest Adrian, you will truly know what it means to be free. The scent of pine is a barrage this close to the forest. Your eyes narrow in on a squirrel skittering hidden in the treetops. You see everything, feel everything. With the whole world in front of you, you're desperate for a taste of freedom. Gaius talks so effusively about. Why do we walk when we could outpace the wind itself? Gaius laughs heartily. Clapping you on the back, you feel a tinge of pride rather than feeling chided. How eagerly he wants to embrace the beast. We walk because we're not alone. The most important rule, the only rule that we abide, is that we don't reveal ourselves. I see. Though being discovered isn't a problem if we're careful. We stay on the outskirts, slow down when we smell the humans. Spoken like a true hunter. Gaius stops suddenly, rolling up the cuffs of his sleeves. Fine. Why not? We'll be reckless. Your body buzzes with the possibility as you bounce on the balls of your feet. Last one there buys the first round of ale. Careful, young one. Don't bite off more than you can chew. He springs forward without warning, snapping branches at the roots as he rockets through the trees like a lead ball from a musket. Cheat. I'll cut through the field, go through the treetops, follow his path. Let's follow his path. What a fool. You dash through the underbrush cleanly through the path that he has marble body carved for you. You push yourself harder, faster than you ever have, and find it easy, fun even. This is what I've been missing out on. It's truly a miracle. You spot Gaius in front of you and press your speed with a wolfish grin, only to slam right into his back. You stopped. Quit so easily, old man. Hush now. In a flash, Gaius is behind you, hand covering your mouth as he points out a young woman kneeling in a clearing ahead. Her head cocks at the rustle of leaves, tilting towards the sound and exposing the long stretch of her pale neck in the process. "Hello? Is someone there?" Gaius' breath is hot in your ear. "She's seen us. She's playing coy." "She's seen nothing." I have a knife." "She's a risk." His muscles tense to spring, but you shove your hand against his chest to stop him. "Gaius, wait. Let's make sure." Silently, you slip out of the tree line, her eyes widen at the sight of you, and you can smell the spike in her blood pressure. "Are you lost, my dear?" Her eyes snap to Gaius, suddenly just beside her. She watches him, magnetized as he slips her hand into his, and he helps her to her feet. "Oh my, you startled me. My apologies. I was worried you were some fearsome predators." Gaius gives you a cheeky grin behind the girl's back. "Just a couple of travelers on our way to visit the town." "Then please, allow me to be your guide." She gathers a basket full of mushrooms she had been picking and slings it over her arm, gesturing for you to follow. As she sweeps her hair to the side, you bite back the urge to reach for her, slide your fingers around her neck, and bite. "No, I won't be the monster he makes of me." Adrian is holding on to his humanity. If the journey was an excitement enough, the thriving night market is an overload. All of Gaius' stories didn't do justice. Rather, Gaius liked to emphasize how filthy and loud it was, but all you see is... he's so alive. "You act like you've never seen a handful of squalling humans before." "It's just been so long." It's a barrage to your senses, voices near and far raging in your ears, the smell of their blood tangling with the aroma of smoked meats and ripe berry tarts. "Are you sure it's safe for me to be amongst all these people?" Gaius laughs loudly, but the sound is cruel. "Safe for whom, exactly? Come, my friend, this is your night." He jostles your shoulders, leading you down the lane of market stalls. You try to focus on anything other than their heartbeats around you. "Finest fare of all of Harrisburg. Come, eat your fill." "Would you look at that?" You step into the stall, peering into the display. Lemon berry tart, cinnamon spice porridge. A flicker of a memory. Sunday mornings, tempting young Charles with a dripping spoon. The smell of tarts wafting from the oven as Eleanor leans over it. "All of the spoils of the night ahead of you. Then you're looking at cakes and treats." "What do you say? I guarantee, sir, it's the finest you've tasted. Perhaps a sample." "I'll try the lemon berry tart." The baker cuts you a sliver to sample as you raise it to your lips. "How will I ever improve if you won't taste them?" "This sounds much like a plot to try and poison your loving husband." Eleanor falls into your arms with a giggle, raising a piece of tart to your lips again. "Good thing you'd never have to fear that, my love." You can feel every grain of flour baked into the crust, smell the dirt the lemons were grown in. But when you close your eyes to savor the first bite, you taste... nothing. "An unfortunate price. I'd have told you if..." He goes to put a reassuring hand on your shoulder, but you duck out of his grasp, pushing through the crowd to get away. You can breathe again now that you're away from the crowd, but it's not long after until Gaius is at your shoulder. "The taste returns eventually, though it'll never be quite as depthful as you'll remember. A minimal comfort." You lean against a low stone wall, suddenly winded. "Don't worry, dear one. This won't last forever." And here I was thinking the immortal gift meant eternity. I meant the feeling. Soon enough you'll forget them. How dare you to imply I would forget my family? But you will. There's no use for it. You'll forget their names, but over time you'll forget their faces. You last saw them with human eyes, a weak human mind. It doesn't record the way it does now. It doesn't store the perfect clarity. They will blur, they will fade, and you'll be free to become who you were truly meant to be. Prove him wrong. There is no way I'd ever let that happen. You won't have a choice. No. No, I can remember every moment of life we shared, brief as it was. And in 50 years, 100, 1,000. 1,000. He pushes you away, creating a much-needed space between you as you gulp in the air, the weight of his words sinking in. I do not want to hear it, and yet I know that it's true. And listen, the night is still young. We've barely scratched the surface of the pleasures this world offers. Let me show you one of the very few little heavens this dreg of a town offers. He offers his hand, not an extension of peace, but a clear attempt to get you back under thumb. Go then, I will follow. His eyes harden, his mouth sets, and he doesn't challenge you further for now. I may obey this life to him, but I do not have to be like him. I do not have to forget them. You follow Gaius away from the din, back down the alleyways, then open up new sights and smells to the world. These poor souls, this place reeks of filth and death. Gaius scoffs, ducking down another covered lane where the odor is just as pungent. The cattle in this square is just as malodorous. They've learned to wear their musks and masks as we have. Don't worry, we'll be there soon enough. A few more minutes through the back alleys of Harrisburg, and Gaius finally stops outside a heavy iron delivery door of a butcher's shop. I don't understand. You said feeding off of animals was only for the lowest of our kind. Much has changed while you've been tucked away, Adrian, including what constitutes fun these days. Fun would be being one of them. To be able to walk amongst the humans without these monstrous urges. He rolls his eyes. Gift or not, you'd have been akin to one of these street urchins had you stayed mortal. Luckily for you, I changed that fate. You've proved yourself well, and I've got a gift for you. He raps sharply on the heavy door 3 times, and another 2, much slower. A keyhole shifts open, revealing a shiny pair of eyes. One look at Gaius, and you can hear the lock mechanisms ticking open. Sir, what an honor to have you with us again so soon. Despite his tone, you can smell the sweat beading his forehead. Gaius makes him nervous. Smart man. The anxious concierge pulls open the imposing door, revealing a set of darkened stairs. The faint pulse of music calls from down below. Incredible. Now our evening can truly begin. At the bottom of the stair, you blink rapidly, trying to take it all in as quickly as at risk for being overwhelmed. I'll focus on the sights, smells, feelings. Sights. Your head whips left and right, trying to take a mental panorama. You've never seen a place so vibrant and full of life. You watch a droplet of gin roll down the side of a martini glass, watch the feathers dance around a performer's waist as she swings her hips in time to the beat. This is a bona fide deluge to the senses. Indeed it is. As the host guides you to your table, Gaius keeps pace behind you, hands on your shoulders as he murmurs rapidly in your ear. Breathe deep and easy, my friend. Feel how it all blends together, the colors, sounds. See them for what they are. We want to parade as human, but here they are, a bleating, squirming mass constantly chasing delights. At the table, he shoves you into a seat across from the stage before seating himself. You speak lowly of them, yet here we are to indulge in the same pleasures.
Not quite. We're here to indulge in pleasures afforded only to our kind.
His eyes flash and canines glint in the low candlelight. You glance around frantically, leaning in close. You speak too boldly of our condition. If the common folk...
I'll speak how I please, and besides, look around you.
You look, not with your eyes, but with your innate gift, and realize that half of the patrons in the room have no pulse.
They're like us. I bristle at the comparison, but yes, they too have the gift.
You never said there were others in this town.
There aren't, and they do well to remember they're not welcome here long term.
He gestures around the room.
Visiting dignitaries, refugees of territory disputes, a handful of vagabonds and runaways. There are meeting places like this the world over.
And you've seen them?
Yes, some.
He smiles at you tenderly like a father would his child, but the patronization doesn't penetrate your wandering thoughts. Visions of the place is far from Nowhere Town. Vampires more like you, less like Gaius, maybe somewhere where your world and mortals could come together. I'd like to see those places.
And you will, dearest Adrian, when you're ready. But in the meantime, I'll sate your curiosity. I can tell you about them.
Tell me more, tell me more. Gaius sighs as though your curiosity is all too exhausting, though you know he enjoys the opportunity to speak.
Where to begin? See that woman there?
He points out a rowdy group of patrons in the corner. The woman in question has a boot planted on a polished table as she leads a cheer. To the best damn crew that ever was. Drinks are on me tonight, lads. A woman's ship's captain. That's rare.
Consider themselves pirates, and Madame Laurette Savant, their captain. Filthy work. But I suppose when you can make a mortal man trip over himself with nothing more than a glance, why not?
Others powers, and they use it to terrorize the open seas.
And what, pray tell, would you do, Adrian, if you weren't the precious cage bird you like to posit yourself as?
You grit your teeth at the teasing, but consider it thoughtfully. If I could go anywhere, do anything, I'd use my powers to kill vampires like you, improve my station, protect people. I'd try and make the world a better place. To see it abused like that, it's disgraceful. He laughs boldly, hand pressed to his chest.
See, one day, Adrian, that high horse is going to be shot out from under you.
A burly man dressed in heavy furs walks past. Blocking the pirate's table from view, Gaius nods towards him. Arctic vampire.
Perhaps the vampires of the far north are more your speed. There's a commune, maybe 15 or so of our kind, freezing their asses off up there. They're all built like oak trees, even women. Must help keep away the cold.
I wouldn't want to go up against one of them. He looks like he could lay me out flat. Gaius wrangles, his nose wrinkling in distaste.
Lucky for you, they're a docile sort feeding off of polar bears and beluga whales. Ugh, such a waste.
It sounds almost peaceful.
If you're thinking of making the trip, I wouldn't bother. You may not have the blood to turn your veins to ice, but hours in the freeze will turn your bones to glass.
So how do they survive? Gaius twists his hand in a dramatic flourish.
The wonder of evolution. The bit of humanity left after the change is our will to survive. You should see those Arctic vampires in their natural habitat, all covered in frost icicles, macing their eyelashes.
Vampires evolve. How can that be? I've noticed no such change, other than the heightened senses and ungodly thirst. Please, you've been of the greater kind for only a couple of years. Time crawls just as slowly for us as it does them. Besides, what adversity could you face here at my side? If you're going to reshape perfection, I say at least evolve towards something useful. Take the tribes in Africa. They've gone subterranean, now it's rumored their eyes are so sharp they can see through walls. You're going to wind me up. You take me for a liar. I'm wounded, Adrian. I'll have to prove it to you sometime. Gaius jolts as someone knocks into him from behind. You've seen how he treats the housemaids who linger too long and brace for violence.
Guys, you old dog. Lester, I see you're darkening our doorstep again.
Man Lester just laughs at the slight, unfazed.
Hell, that's a bay. She's got lonely if I don't visit every few months. You, on the other hand, I haven't seen since hell. Italy, was it? Yes, well, at least we made it out of Prisa with only minimal damage to the infrastructure. Just teasing my young friend here about our ways.
Lester's eyes light on you finally, and there's a knowing glint in his eyes. Adrian Rains, a pleasure, sir.
You found yourself a new toy. I preferred the last one. She could step on me any day of the week. Hold your tongue before I cut it out.
You two seem to know each other well. I take it you've lived for quite some time.
Not as long as some, but I've been around the block and back.
Tell me. What you intend to do with the gift? Lester laughs deep in his throat, and Gaius quickly follows.
Whatever the hell I want. Isn't that the point?
I'd like to think there's a little more to it.
Well, you keep thinking. Meanwhile, I'll enjoy.
Lester raises his glass to you before downing it, licking away a suspiciously crimson droplet from the corner of his mouth. As he walks away, he drops a hand on Gaius' shoulder, murmuring low.
Those order the new blood pricks are headed this direction. You may want to think about what we talked about.
As soon as he saunters away, you turn a suspicious eye towards Gaius. What was that about? Gaius eyes you back warily, sharply.
Not yet, but soon, Adrian. I'll tell you everything my plan for you, your purpose.
You got twists with hope and a glut of fear. You learned about other vampires from Gaius.
There's so much more to our world than you know, and you're almost ready to face it all. By my side.
He doesn't continue, and you don't press him, distracted by a woman approaching with a chilled bottle of fine French wine. It's been so long. While Gaius whispers to the waitress, you feel the feather-light touch of fingertips glossing over the back of your hand. Well, aren't you handsome? I've seen you before, and I believe you were a vampire in the future. Believe me when I say our regulars don't look a thing like you. It's been so long since you felt the tender touch of a woman. It catches you off guard. Your body responds as if it was near everything since your change. Hungrily. A gracious compliment. I don't know how I feel about this one, because didn't Eleanor die? Didn't his children die? I'll just stay with it. I'm a married man. Oh, what a shame. She leans in as if hypnotized, eyes never leaving yours. She raises a hand as if to stroke your face. You really are beautiful. Gaius' hands whips out, snatching the woman's wrist as she tugs her attention towards him.
Your services are not needed here.
I'm sorry, Gaius, are you harassing my girls?
Never, Bear. Just don't want my friend here distracted before we even get to the main event.
Apologies for the disruption. You're not used to seeing Gaius interact with humans like this. They seem almost friendly, almost. Your private room is ready, gentlemen. If you'd follow me... She gives the dancer a nod and she scurries away. Gaius grabs the bottle in one hand and 2 glasses by the stem in the other.
Shall we?
The woman, Bays, as Gaius called her, leads you down a hallway to an intimate, secluded room. Inside, Gaius removes his coat and lays it neatly on a chair in a clearly practiced motion. I don't understand. We had a perfectly fine view of the stage from our table, this main event. Gaius waves a flippant hand, pouring wine into a single glass. The woman takes it and lounges in a cushioned chair, taking a languid sip.
Consider this a nightcap. Bay is an old, trusted friend of mine.
I resent old.
She provides for me, and I provide.
He flourishes a hand towards the walls, the ceilings, the whole of the establishment.
For her.
You look between the two and consider their arrangement.
And what service is it that you provide?
She finishes the rest of her glass of wine, and when she sets it down, she picks up, instead, a blade. She lifts the hem of her skirt, sliding the knife across the flesh above her knee.
What are you...
Gaius takes the other glass and holds it to her leg until it's full to the brim. He takes a slow, long sip, and you find yourself licking your lips.
Consider this your graduation, and a celebration before the real work begins. I want you to see how fruitful this life can be. We can live with humans. Isn't that what you want?
It's tempting, all of it. His pretty words, the pretty shade of crimson running rivulets down her leg, the tap, tap of every wasted drop. Your mouth pools with saliva, throat aching, mind warring with how such a pretty offer could hide an ugly truth. The awful thing is, I'm not sure that I care. Gaius, let us toast to them. You try not to show how eager you are as you walk forward and take the other glass and hold it to her leg with a trembling hand. The glass is agonizing slow to fill, and though you're desperate for a taste, you keep composed as you lift the glass. And what do we toast to?
To freedom.
To freedom. You don't miss the way his eyes linger on you over the rim of his glass. When you're full and satiated, Gaius drops a heavy coin purse on the table and gives her a kiss on the cheek.
A pleasure doing business, as always.
I'm not sure I'd call it a pleasure, but you always take care of us. Not to mention your help. Ousting the previous management, the girls have never been happier. He gives a dramatic bow.
I live to serve.
By the time you're back above ground, the sky is starting to pinken above you. The streets are quiet, and so is Gaius. Gaius, you've mentioned this great plan of yours many times tonight. So you say that I've passed your tests, and yet you give me no detail.
You understand this new life enough to walk amongst the humans, yes? But there is still something you fail to understand, and it's something I cannot teach you.
You get little time to try and understand his meaning before a shift in the wind draws both your attention. Is that smoke? Around the corner, flames billow out of the window of a small, unadorned home. You hear screams from inside, the scraping sounds of ransacking hands. Gaius, what should we do?
What? We? Whatever do you mean?
Those people need our help. There's still a chance to save them. Just now at the bar, you said there's a way for our kind of humans to live together.
The ones that matter. What do these people provide to me? Don't be a fool, Adrian.
Your footsteps slow enough for Gaius to finally stop. You know there will be consequences, but you can't bring yourself to walk away.
Adrian? Stay here, then, if you care so little.
Inside, a family and their small son cower in a corner as thieves make a grab for anything they can as the flames blaze. You do it quietly. You slip through the doorway behind the thief nearest to you and snap his neck before he even feels a prickle on the back of his neck. That's one. As you turn to the other thief, you lock eyes with the young boy hiding in his mother's arms. Unfortunately, the other intruder notices too. How you son of a... You launch yourself at her, holding back just enough to suspend disbelief as you take care of her handily. You turn back in time to see the last of the brutes grab the young boy and press a blade to his throat.
Leave us now, before this gets bloodier.
You fool yourself if you think you'll get to leave here. The thief is afraid, his knife trembling at the boy's throat. One small slip and the boy could die. I need to handle this as graciously as possible. You lunge forward, lightning quick, with enough force to drive the man through the wall behind him.
You've done this family enough harm!
Away from terrified eyes of the family, slash the thief's throat.
It's all right now. You're safe. You're...
The boy lays limp in his parent's arm. Still from the force of your movements or some falling debris, you may never know, but... Monster! Monster!
But I... What are you? What do you want from us?
You take a handful of faltering steps forward. The woman stumbles back, clutching her son to her chest.
I only wanted to help those men.
My son, my boy.
They would have left us. You would have...
The man is charging you now, and in the moment, you only hope he can find the secret to ending your life. But his hands never find your throat. His neck bends to an odd angle before his body slips away, and standing in its place...
See what you've done!
No, no! You lift an ineffectual hand, frozen to the spot as Gaius crosses the room in one swift stride, wrenching the woman's head back by her hair.
Now I have to clean up your mess!
His teeth are at her throat, arcing blood when he tears away. He lets her drop, blood dripping from his mouth as he leers at you.
Gaius, I had it handled. Don't insult me. You're out of your depth, child.
He spits and you wince. Gaius takes that as yet another sign of weakness is on you in a flash. With the smoke pouring out from behind him, now more than ever, he looks like an angel of death.
You want to know why you aren't ready, dear Adrian?
He grabs the back of your neck and pushes you forward, forcing you to look at the bodies littering the room.
Here's your lesson. You are not one of them.
Gaius. Your eyes catch on the boy, and though you haven't needed to breathe for a long time, you feel your chest start to heave.
They will never love you, never see you.
He releases you, letting you stumble forward until your knees hit the floor hard with a sharp crack.
To them, we are monsters. It doesn't matter what you do, how many you save.
But what then? What is our place in the world, to be feared and hated wherever we try to find reprieve? He takes his time now. You can feel his force in the room, moving closer. His hand on your head is a gentle, now a kindly blessing. He comes around to kneel before you, and tracing your jaws, he looks on you with a glimmer of pride.
To be exalted, beloved, dear Adrian. To rule. Look around you at the strength you have in every movement of your body. What else could there be?
It starts to dawn on you what it all means. So that's your plan, then? He rises to his full height, offering a hand to help you up. Backed by the hungry fire, you could imagine him a phoenix of legend.
Not without you. You are special. And with you by my side, there will be no one to oppose us.
His words hang in the air, and you realize you could stand here in this hovel until it all burned to ash under your feet. And you would remain. You are the Phoenix.
What do you say, my friend?
Interesting. Very interesting. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description and check out all the links and things there to become more part of a community, and ways to give back as well, ways to support. Pretty much I have a lot of work to do. We have the Crimes of Passion, Chapter 16. We have Secrets, Blades, like there's tons of work. For those of you who stay to the end of this message, once again, thank you all for watching. It's very much appreciated, more so than you can even imagine. Yeah, let me know your comments down, your thoughts in the comment section down below. It'd be appreciated. I did see that, you know, a couple of these are interesting, and I wouldn't like to, I wouldn't mind knowing their past. I always loved Bloodbound. But the one character that I saw on the far left is our friend, right? When our main character did exist. We were around her all the times. We knew everything she went through, right? So it's going to be a bit weird if they actually show her story, but I guess we'll find out, right? Unless it's like an after thing. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, let me know your comments down below. But without further ado, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.